What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? I Hate Average Podcast is back with another week, another episode. I'm really, really excited about this guest because she recaps and follows up with one of my favorite shows. And of course she has other content also, but I love her because of her Married at First Sight content. So we got Rizzo from the BDconnect. How you doing, Rizzo?
Yes, hi. Thanks for having me. I'm great. Just quarantining, you know.
Yeah, of course, like everyone is.
Right, right.
So, so I'm a big fan. Me and my wife, we love Married at First Sight.
Love.
Actually, I only been on it since what season 7, but ever since then I've been on it. I've been on it. Yeah.
You're invested. I like it.
Yeah.
Did she get you in it?
Huh? I'm
Or
sorry.
did she get you involved in it, or did you find it yourself?
Yeah, she got me involved.
Oh,
Yeah, she got me involved, but I kind of watch it on my own now. I'm a fan. Yeah.
nice.
So what got you into? What got you into?
So yeah, I've watched Married at First Sight since season 2. Like I
Okay.
true through every single episode, every special, every baby episode, the weddings. Like I live for it. I'm just
Yeah.
overall reality TV is my jam. So I always
Okay.
watch a lot of reality TV.
Yeah.
Um, and then Married at First Sight was just always one of, I like to see the love side of things. So this was a good merge of them both. And I feel like it was one of those reality shows that it had a lot of less writing involved,
Yeah. Yeah.
if
Yeah.
that makes sense, right? Because those reality shows that have those scripts.
That's true.
So this was a lot better for me. And then in terms of the recaps, I was home. I was on medical leave. I got into a car accident, so I was on medical leave for a
Okay.
bit. So I found myself watching TV a lot, and I'm like, you know what? Married at First Sight is on. Like I talk to my friends about Married at First Sight all the time. It was the summer. I couldn't go out, so I was pretty used to this. I'm like, let me talk to other people online about this. And so I
Yeah.
just started writing posting my recaps, and a little community has started to build. And
Yeah.
that's just a couple
It's
months ago.
crazy
Yeah, I
because
just did it a
I'm
couple months
because I'm
ago.
a fan, and
Yeah,
you don't. It's crazy how the show is so popular, but people don't really talk about it.
yeah,
So once I found your
exactly.
page, I'm telling my wife, I'm like, look, somebody.
Listen, I'm telling you, it's crazy. The pay, like, it's really small. It's people are like, oh, you're trying to be an influencer. I'm like, no, we're not
Yeah.
there. But like, this doesn't exist for this show, right?
Yeah.
Things like
Yeah.
this don't exist. So I've got people who are on the show DMing me, talking to me. I got girlfriends contacting me, and they're like, oh my God, I used to date him. Like, I love your experts are
Yeah.
hitting me up, you know what I'm saying? So there's
Yeah.
a little community here that
It's
I didn't
crazy.
know
It's crazy.
existed. It's
It's like lifestyle. If you know it, you know it. It's like
real.
so what's been your favorite season so far?
I mean, season 9. Honestly,
Mm,
this season had a lot, but it was a lot of like, I feel like this season 10 had a lot of, it was less drama and just a lot, it was really sad. Like a lot of
yeah.
things that happened, I'm just like,
Yeah, I think the experts dropped the ball this season. I think they really
hey, you're one of those. You think it's the expert's fault. Why do you blame the
yeah. I blame the experts because a lot of them, most of them didn't seem compatible. So I'm like, what was they thinking? What was they thinking?
What? Did you see the match special?
I seen
Like
it, yeah.
before episode 1? So I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that the people were putting on a front. That's why I don't like to
Mm,
blame the experts, because Michael, if you're gonna come here and you're gonna tell me something, my first instinct is not, let me double check that he's
that's
actually,
true, yeah.
you know what
A
I'm saying? Like
yoga
you're
teacher, a
lying.
yoga instructor.
Exactly. You are lying.
Oh
I don't
man.
blame the experts. They linked what Mika said. They linked who they thought was Michael with.
That's true, yeah.
I don't know. I don't blame them too much. There's a little producer drama in there where they like the drama.
Yeah,
So
of
the producers
course.
kind of feed into it a little bit, but I
Yeah.
don't blame the experts. But yeah, to answer your question, season 9 was great. I'm a Keith stan. I'm one of those girls. So I
Uh,
love that whole little Iris and Keith moment. I
do
think
you think
Ashley,
Keith should have stayed? Do you think Keith should
no,
have
for
stayed?
sure. I knew from jump he should have. This ain't the girl for you, Keith.
She's not. I think she was, kind of holding her virginity thing over his head, but
Yeah.
she still was a nice girl. You know, she.
She's very nice. I think Iris is going to do really well. I think she's going to find a really handsome, tall man, and they're going to look great together.
Yeah.
But Keith is not that man. Keith is Keith is a ball player. What you think a handsome ball player
Nah,
rapper
it's true.
is
It's
going
true.
to do with
That's true.
a
Nah,
virgin?
it's true. It's true. I mean, he tried, and honestly, I think he was with it. If she would just played along, but I think she was like she wanted to show like, all right, nice to meet you, but I'm a virgin. Like, why?
Yeah,
Why? Come on, like
every
this.
episode. I think the
Yeah.
turning point for like when I don't want to say he gave up, but the turning point for him was when that game that they did, and he said your favorite sexual position, and
Mm.
she couldn't. She got really like
Yeah, she
not
was acting so
defensive.
giddy, and yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
she couldn't answer that, so that didn't really give him any comfort. That even though you are a virgin, you're not comfortable in your skin, you're not comfortable with your sexuality. So I
yeah.
think at that point he was just like, that's it.
That's true.
Yeah.
And
What was season
I'm sorry.
was it Chicago? When you what seasons did you see? You said season 7.
Season 7. What's that? Dallas or see? It was it Dallas or
Oh,
Seattle? Yeah.
with the stalker girl and Tristan.
Yeah. That's what I was in. I saw that. I was like, wait a minute.
Yo, that was. I have
Because it
a.
started. I'm sorry. And I said it started off slow. It was like, what kind of show is this? But then they go trying to go to the honeymoon, and she gets arrested. I said, wait a minute, let me check this out.
Post that I recorded. I'm gonna start adding your stuff in there about what should the experts do. Like because every season they learn something. I don't know if you saw the Shawnice and Jeff D season. That was the Boston one. Those guys. So Jeff D didn't like Shawnice. It's the black couple. He got dreads. She had a baby like 2 weeks after the season was over.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
You'll see them on the special tonight.
Okay.
But Jeff D got harassed a lot on social media for things that he did. So now they make all the participants block their social media. So it's like every year they learn something new, right? They'll have conversations with family members now. And it's just like, what did we learn this season? I don't know what we learned this season that the experts can do better or production can do better.
They're gonna do background checks on everybody.
They're doing background checks because of the well, not because of, they did background checks on, what was the girl's name? Tristan's wife, the stalker.
Oh, yeah. But now they got to do it because of Michael. They got to go deeper now. They got to go.
Like, what do you do? Like, send me your professional records. Let me see send me your tax form. Like, what do you do?
That's true.
Let me see your W-2s. That's crazy.
But it's strange how he went from being extreme. He went from being a principal to running an after school program to
4 jobs. Did you see at the end of my last recap? One of my girls my homegirls went on a Tinder date with him, like 2 Tinder dates.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, "Oh, girl, you dodged it. You dodged the bullet."
Wow. And I'm sure he was nice on the date. I'm sure.
Yeah, but she won't tell, because I was like, "Girl, what happened?" And she's like, "Yeah, he wasn't it." And then, I don't want to get into it, but people DM me who know these people, and it's just not okay.
But the one thing, I know she said a lot of lies, but one thing I do believe, I don't think that he did say when the first lie she said about making her have sex on the honeymoon. I don't think he said that.
No, I think he said it, but in a joking manner. But because he works with kids, he doesn't want to make it seem like it's overly sexual, because that is not something you can make up. You know what I'm saying? You can't.
It's true, but
he probably was like, "Girl, you better have sex with me on a honeymoon, or I'm not going to want to be with you." Like, nobody really means that, hopefully, right?
Yeah, that sounds. I don't think so.
But like, come on, just admit you said it and it was a joke, or like, just
yeah. So what did you think about man, I forgot his name.
Mindy, Zach, who you want?
Zach, yeah. Zach. What did you think about Zach?
I didn't like her. Clearly, he was not attracted to her.
So you don't think he's a bad guy? He just really didn't like her.
No, I don't think he's a bad guy. He wasn't physically attracted to her, but he let that stunt everything. Right? Everything from there on, it was like, I'm not physically attracted to you, so I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to attempt to grow and see your personality that could make, Everybody is not a 10, but when you meet some people, they can be like, oh, he's cuter than, when I meet guys, I'm like, oh, he's actually cuter than I thought because I really like his personality now,
Exactly,
so
yeah.
he can turn things around for you, but he didn't care.
I don't know if that's true because the friend that he was trying to talk to wasn't that attractive. So I'm like, why are you trying to cheat with her?
Do you think he was trying to date Katie? You saw the reunion?
Oh yeah. I think he was checking the temperature. I don't know if he was trying to date. I think he was checking the temperature.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I think he needs to speak up a little more for himself though, because he lets people just talk, and I'm like, Zach, explain yourself. What were you doing here? Like,
yeah.
what's going on?
That's why I think you might be right. He might have just not liked it, but he don't want to come out and say it. So that's why he's beating around the bush, and
Yep.
he was just scatterbrained and talking. He was
yeah, that too. Nobody wants to hold a conversation with you if it's going to take 20 minutes for you to get a thought out, and it still doesn't.
So out of all the seasons, what's been your favorite couple so far?
My favorite, I like Ashley and Anthony, and I believe they're from Chicago. I thought it was season 7, but maybe it's season 8. I don't know. Did you see those guys? The guy he has the fake teeth. Did you watch it? It must be. It's Chicago.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see that one.
Yeah. Okay, so then maybe it was season 6. I think they're great. They're a great couple. Like, they make sense together. The big issue between them is that she just was like body self-conscious. She used to be a little bigger, and then she lost weight, and she wanted him. She's that type of person who needs she's words of affirmation. So she needs him to always say, "You're great. This meal is great. You're doing a good job." But those two are amazing. I think they have a baby. I don't know if they have another one on the way, but yeah, that's my favorite couple. Yeah, I don't know.
Mine is what was it, season? It had to be season 8, right? Where the girl that she was a black girl, she doesn't like compliments. Was it season 8 or season 9?
No, last season 9. Deanna and Greg.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I think Deanna is like my best friend in my head. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, let's make this real. Honestly, because she's amazing.
But I was laughing at the transition because she was liked him and kind of didn't like him, but then when she saw his house and she saw how stable he was, I think that's when she turned. That's what I think. That's what happened.
Those are moments like that, because I don't think Greg was her. She kind of mentioned this during the reunion, but I don't think Greg is somebody she would have picked in the street. Like, oh, he's fine. Like, I want to be with him.
Yeah.
But knowing Greg, right? Seeing, like you said, seeing that stability, seeing how he is around his friends. Remember, that's the first day they had sex, was when she saw him around his friends and saw that he was like a cool guy. And just seeing him in his element really made her turn that corner. Like, oh, wait a minute, my husband's cool. My husband can hold his own. And
that's true. That's true.
Turn around, y'all. Oh, yeah. They're going back to Atlanta, though. Did you see that?
I thought they're going to New Orleans.
So New Orleans is next. They're filming now, but they're casting for Atlanta.
Okay. They're casting with. That's why I was wondering how they're gonna do this with this Corona and all this stuff going on.
So I thought they stopped filming New Orleans because of everything, but
they haven't.
They are. Dr. Viviana said they're still doing it, but I'm wondering if they're just doing it like remote, right? Which is also another thing, because what if I don't like you and I'm stuck in the house with you?
Oh my God. Well, that's a real test. That's the real test. That's crazy.
Yeah. Could you do it if you let's say you were married? Could you be on
the show? After watching it, I could. Yeah, I could.
What if you were in like a Zach situation and somebody like crazy?
Like, oh man.
That's the ringer.
If she really looked that bad, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough.
And maybe didn't look that bad
but I think I would do a better job than Zach. I would actually move into the house, and I would, I would let it play out. And like you said, sometimes the personality could make things work out. So I would let it play out. And then you could always say no at the end of 8 weeks. So.
I mean, that's the one thing that I liked about Katie is she was like, look, I just want to see it through. I want to make sure that I know. I'm not a big Katie fan, but I appreciate that aspect. She's like, I want to at least
Yeah.
try it until the 8 weeks. I don't want to give up before.
Yeah. But I think Derek should have never ever stayed with Katie. I think.
We knew she was in love with her ex-boyfriend, or
Yeah,
I don't want
yeah.
to call it an ex-boyfriend because that person was not a boyfriend.
No.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
That relationship was. I mean, at least Zach didn't involve himself with Mindy, but Katie was like verbally abusive to that man.
Honestly, I think they kind of could have switched. They could have put Zach with Katie and Derek with Mindy. That might have worked.
Mindy? No.
You don't think so?
No. Mindy is like 34. Derek is like 26.
Yeah.
Derek wants to party.
That's true. Yeah.
Mindy wants to have a baby tomorrow.
I think if Derek, he likes to party, but he would have came home. He wouldn't have been like Zach. He would have been around.
What about Taylor? What about Zach and Derek and Taylor? What do you think about the Taylor and Brandon situation? Because people are split.
Yeah, I'm split. Well, but with the situation, I think it escalated because of Taylor. That's my personal opinion.
Okay.
I think Brandon has some issues. I think I don't know what his initial issue was when she was taking pictures of him when they was laying in the bed. I don't know why that made him freak out so much. That was weird to me.
Anxiety.
Yeah.
And he was mad at her for the full day. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. That was weird. Like you signed up to be filmed and
you filmed. Thank you. And
I didn't get it.
Some of these guys, and this is a difference, right? So while you were talking, it reminded me, like another change that production did is they actually pay for housing. So earlier in the seasons, the couples would have to go find housing together and they would, talk about their finances and what they could afford. Then the next phase of that, production gave them money. I think Dallas was the one they gave them money to pay for like the first couple months of rent. And then they would figure things out after that. Now they've started to buy housing and put them in the same apartment, so they don't have to worry about that part. They can just focus on getting to know one another. Now I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about before? Who were we talking about? Taylor and Brandon.
Yeah.
So Taylor and Brandon. The other thing that they changed is it's not just people who naturally apply, right? So people were applying for Married at First Sight, like, I want to get married. Now the team has worked where they cast and they have casting directors reach out to people. So they meet people on social media and they're like, hey, are you single? Do you want to do this? And I think that changes a lot. That was Zach. Yeah. There were only 2 people this season who didn't. Who do you think the 2 people are who didn't get recruited?
Zach and Taylor.
You think Zach didn't get recruited? Zach ain't want to get married? No.
Yeah.
It was Mindy and Jessica.
Really?
Yep. Everyone else got recruited.
Wow.
Mindy and Jessica are the only people who naturally applied. Because look, Zach has his own business and he's handsome. They're like, oh, he'll be great. Yeah. Taylor is like a social media influencer. Oh, she'll be great. So that's why I think the Brandon situation is a bit different. He might not be familiar with the show. He might not realize that they're going to be recording him all the time. So this could have been him. But still, you signed up for this. When they asked you, you said yes.
So Michael, they picked Michael?
Oh, yes.
Oh, man.
He must have some yoga pictures up or something.
Oh, exactly. Showed him in the classroom or something. He was the principal.
By the time I found his real page, it was locked. So I'm like, but wait, his real page said like the dark skinned Chico DeBarge or something like that. And I was
man. I can't picture Michael being cocky like that, but I heard that he did have that, but I can't picture. He doesn't seem confident. He seems like he
when he's with Brandon, that's when I'm like, oh, look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe he seemed like the all-American guy, like, oh, he's a teacher, so he wants kids. He's never been married, so he'll want to, like, no one in his family's been married, so he'll want to get married. One of those type.
And I had so many moments like, come on, Mike, don't cry, man. Don't cry.
I was like, I don't want to be like insensitive. We don't want to be
of course.
Black men crying, right?
Of course.
We want you to show emotion. Yeah. But sir, Stop.
Yeah.
You gonna blame your mother on
Is
everything?
that because you lied? You lied about being a yoga teacher. It's your mother's fault.
Right? Well, it's because I was adopted and I just don't know how to be myself. What the hell does that have to do?
Yeah.
Like, don't do
Oh
it.
man.
He's like, if I cry, he does like what white girls do in the police stuff. Let me not do this on your
Yeah,
podcast.
exactly.
When you step out of police,
It's true.
you
It's
cry.
true.
This is what the
Oh
experts were his
man.
police.
But it's like with me, she wasn't phased at all. She was just looking at him like
Like I could
wasn't
see.
phased. Yeah.
Who's your favorite expert?
Uh, Pastor Kyle. I think
Pastor
Pastor Kyle. Yeah, I think he's the most honest. Yeah.
Have you seen any other experts? I always forget when they swap one out on your show. Like, was there another woman, Dr. Jessica? She's blonde. No. So there was another, and
It used to just be two, and then Dr. Viviana came.
No, there were three. It's Dr. Jessica. You're missing out. So they're going to talk about that on the special today.
Okay.
That doctor, was that Chicago? Wherever they were. She wound up dating one of the participants, and now they're married.
Wow.
Yeah. So she got obviously she didn't come back next season. She got replaced with Dr. Viviana, and now all the experts are married.
Is that legal to?
So that's why I'm like, had to put that in the contract because
oh man,
it's crazy. She's giving him advice for his marriage that is
exactly.
And they wound up dating.
Wow.
You gotta see that episode.
Yeah, that's definitely breach of contract. That's
right. Or if somebody didn't put that in the contract, y'all need to fire those
man.
Because it has to be season 6 because that also has Ashley and Anthony, and they're my favorite couple. So you should watch that.
Okay. So when we never got back to the Brandon Taylor. So do you with the whole arresting? Whose fault do you think it was?
So there shouldn't have been arrest. Taylor called the cops because she wanted to be like, I'm going to get a restraining order on you. And when you tell the cops a story about somebody or you feeling like physically afraid or someone may have touched you or done something, it's going to be a domestic violence case. And both of you guys, because no one can prove anything, both of you guys are going to get charged. So that was Taylor's fault. Here's what I think happened. I think Taylor and this man went to this bar. Like, I think it's a bar called Where are you located?
I'm in New York.
New York. Okay, me too. Okay. So if you go to DC, there's this popular bar, like for, us. It's called Marvins. And it's like where we go. And there's a nice rooftop. Like, that's the place that everybody goes to. That Brandon just so happens to be one of his vendors, right? So he does the beer distributions for a couple of places. That happens to be one of them. So if Taylor's bringing a man there, or he's coming into DC to visit her, she's going to bring him to Marvin's.
But she also kind of knew it could be a possibility that Brandon might be there.
So that is interesting. So she made the comment that, he said he wasn't going to work there anymore. I don't know about that.
Yeah.
So I do think, she knows there's a possibility he could be there, but Marvin's is also the spot. So am I going to stop?
I get you.
Knowing that you're here?
That's
Marvin's is pretty big also. There's multiple floors. I can avoid you.
That's fair.
He's there, and I bet Brandon was like, remember, he made all these comments about, you get, you're out late at night. You get texts from men calling you or calls at 3 a.m. So in his mind, he probably thinks like, this girl tried to make me look bad. So maybe she was cheating, and I'm going to take a picture and show everyone that she was cheating with this guy because she's like kissing up. I don't believe that she wasn't kissing on him or whatever.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
I'm of course. So he's going to take pictures like, you just broke up with me saying you want to be with me.
Yeah.
And then a week later, you're over here in this bar, in my bar, kissing another guy. I'm going to take pictures. And she probably didn't want that out. So she goes this, she said he was calling her a bitch or whatever. So she's probably like, stop taking pictures. And then maybe he like tries to get his phone or whatever. And she doesn't want that. And then she moves it out.
Yeah. And that's what I think happened. I don't
know if it was intentional on either side, but
I think, to me, I think, he's crazy. He's taking pictures. Let him take his pictures. If it's over between y'all, what does it matter? He's taking the pictures.
She also has an image. right? And Brandon was
Yeah.
saying a lot, oh, you're out late at night. She didn't want a bad story on, like a story on her name that made her look bad.
Yeah.
So,
So you're gonna fight him for that? Yeah.
don't fight. Like, what's your intent in going up to him? You're not gonna get those pictures. They're on his.
No.
So
That guy, yeah.
that's a sad situation though for both of them. Now
It
y'all have
is.
criminal records. Like, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. That was ridiculous.
From
That's
this show.
ridiculous.
Oh no.
What did you think about what's it with the tall guy from season 9, the basketball player?
Matt?
Yeah.
Matt and Amber?
Yeah.
So Matt also got recruited, right?
Okay.
So think now that you know this, you'll be like, oh, that person. You can kind of
it makes sense.
tell.
Yeah.
If you're not committed, this is a basketball player. They also have to cast handsome, pretty, beautiful type people so that we want to watch, right?
True.
So they're gonna pick the tall basketball player. They've never had somebody who plays overseas. He says he wants to settle down. Totally, untrue. He was looking for a new career. He was not.
I think he wanted a place to stay too for 8 weeks.
He was staying with his friend. That's like
he he said, I got free housing.
I can have sex whenever I want because this girl is totally open. Wait, do you remember they did the family episodes where they went to visit like their old houses?
Yeah.
But Matt just drove by. Like I don't even think he really went to his family house.
Yeah. He never went inside.
Yeah, that's my house.
And it was a red flag where his parents wasn't involved. It was so many red flags.
And he has his sister. He never really heard about his relationship with his sister. It was a lie. He wasn't invested in this. Yeah. But Amber just wanted to be loved so much.
Yeah. And that's what makes it sad, yeah.
She has a new boyfriend now.
Okay, that's a good thing.
Boyfriend of 2 months, so she's good. Okay. She was on Dr. Viviana's live, and I was like, look at
that. Okay.
Anything works. And she and Matt are still not divorced. Matt hasn't signed papers, so
they probably can't find him. That's why.
Right. Where's your address?
Oh man.
So crazy.
What's your hopes for this New Orleans season that's coming up soon?
Look, I just hope that they're not like, I don't want Matt, right? Because at least for me, the Zacks got recruited and he gave up on it. Matt got recruited and he was in it for the wrong intentions. Like, I don't believe like people think that Zach only did this to better his career. Yeah. I think Matt only did this to better his career. Yeah. So I hope that there are none of those, right? So don't pick people. I mean, it's already casted, but I hope we don't get people who are just like playing with other people's emotions. Yeah. I hope the couples try, right? Don't give up right after the honeymoon. Don't give up when you have a chance to go back home. Sure. The women, I mean, I'm not one of those women like, oh, if you have sex and he's not going to want to date you and all that stuff. But I see what's her name? Katie. The Katies of this, where it's like, you have sex right away and it goes crazy and you're really into him. And then when you get to know him, you're like, wait a minute, I really like this guy. Don't do that. Yes. At least spend a couple more days getting to know him, and then you can do what you want. Because
I think the rush of the honeymoon and the wedding, you get excited and.
Yeah, I mean, look, Jessica and Austin have sex early, so it's not about the time when you have sex. I just want you to be like more sure about it and know the person, and not just jump in his pants just because you're excited.
Yeah, it's true. Oh, I forgot. Speaking of sex, what about the what was it, season 8, the gay guy? What they was assuming he was gay. He had the beard.
Oh, Luke?
Yeah.
So I think after that season, I think they started doing the recommitment ceremony because everybody was looking at Kate like, girl, get out. And so the ex
they give you a chance to get out. Yeah.
You want to get out. He said no. I don't think he was gay. I also don't think he was into what's her name? I don't think he was into Kate.
It was weird when she said like every time they had sex that he would like cry or something.
I know girls who do that. I am not one. Whoever's listening, just so you know. But I know women. We're getting really deep. But I know women who do that when they orgasm, not like during.
That's different. But she said like when it's over, like he'll just leave and start.
I didn't realize that. That's ridiculous.
Oh man, yeah.
I would literally be like, we gotta end this right now. I would be Zach. What if that's what happened?
And there was another couple before. I don't want to hold you up too much, but it was another couple.
This is my life. I love this show.
They used to fight all the time, and they always threatened to get a divorce, and then they ended up staying together. Oh man, redhead, and
Oh, Beth and Jamie.
Oh my god, that's a crazy. That was. I don't know. I don't know how the experts let them stay together.
They were like toxic, but he loved to rile her up. Like for him, that Jamie was like, if she argues with me, that shows passion. She's like really into me. Nuts. And so Jamie has that personality where she's all over the place. And so that feeds into his ego of like, she only argues with me because she loves me, you know? So
yeah,
that worked. They're still together for some weird reason.
It's very weird.
I like her though. She is quirky, but character.
And she stood up for herself too. She stood up for herself. He used to say things.
She pushed the table.
Yeah, that was crazy.
What do you think about him taking his cat every time
exactly. Yeah, we all out of here. We all.
I didn't like his, and I think he's very much into like he shows authority over her. When he was talking about her job, right? Like, well, I think less of you now because you do this and you do that, and you didn't go to college, but you're living off your dad. Like, you knew this from jump. Don't get mad at her now because she's talking about, you know, your relationship with your family or whatever. But he's really into his feelings. So I hope they go to therapy. I hope a lot of these couples go to therapy.
That should be mandatory once it's over. It should be mandatory.
That's true. Because, I mean, I guess the experts are a form of therapy for them.
But then you just, after 8 weeks, you just leave them to their own devices?
They should make it free 4 months, 5 months, whatever long. And double the time if you stay together.
Yeah. So how can people reach out to you? How can...
Yes, TheBDconnect. You can definitely go on Instagram. I'm actually thinking about changing that name because that comes from something so far long ago. But, you know, I might want to do it now when I have a smaller following than later. But definitely go Instagram, TheBDconnect, the BD as in the letters, connect spelled out, CONNECT. Or you can go on YouTube at TheBDconnect as well. And I post my videos there. Some people talk about they don't like to swipe through to watch every single video. They don't like to wait for 1 and 2. So if you go on YouTube, you'll see all 20 minutes, 18 minutes at a time.
Okay. Nice.
And I'm doing Insecure next. So if anybody watches Insecure, that will be my next recap.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time, Rizzo, so much. I'm going to let you get to the reunion episode.
Thank you so much.